Hey yo, I'm focused. Cash me out in London speaking Polish. Having money on my mind and having money in my pocket. Bone marrow roasted. Spread it on the rosemary bread, lightly toasted. Drizzle with the vinaigrette. Stuffed Dutchess and it's pulling like a cigarette.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy. And yeah, just first of all, I just want to say what a travesty this is, okay? You guys know I made the most fire Reef song, most fire band Reef song. Yeah, I wasn't serious. And I didn't win. So I think, you know, there needs to be a lawsuit of some kind, because this is unacceptable. It's just unacceptable, okay? But all jokes aside, more Reef news. They have partnered with Elrond, and just to briefly go over what this partnership means. Excuse me, my friends are messaging me. Just to go over what this means, basically, if you don't know what Elrond is, they are a highly scalable, fast, secure, and low transaction cost blockchain for developing apps, enterprise use cases, and the new decentralized economy. By innovative techniques such as adaptive state sharding and secure proof of stake consensus, Elrond achieves a 1000x improvement in throughput without compromising on security. So Elrond's ecosystem already comprises of around 115 plus businesses and startups, which is very good to see. We've already seen how well Elrond has done in the last couple months or so. And talking of Elrond, we will look at the chart. Elrond does appear to be breaking out of this downwards ascending channel that it was in. You could say it was a bear flag potentially, or bull flag, sorry, potentially. But what is a good sign is that it has bounced off of this EMA, or this SMA, excuse me, which coincides with the 0.618 fib extension. And these MACD, so many technical terms, it's a lot. So the MACD is now starting to go lighter in terms of the histogram colors, indicating that, you know, momentum is going to go to the upside, as well as the RSI starting to trend upwards as well, which is a good sign. So look out for more Reef partnerships in the next couple of weeks or so. They should have a partnership with Chainlink as well, which I mentioned in yesterday's video. So we're going to go over some other pieces of news as well, then look at some coins, and that will mainly be it for today's video. But what I thought was interesting is that commercial banks are now, or in Colombia at least, they're piloting crypto services. And just to read a direct quote, one of our great motivations is to be active, or excuse me, one of our great motivations is to be an active part of the transformation of the country, and we consider it valuable to participate in the construction of the possible regulation that would enable the exchange of crypto assets within the Colombian regulatory framework. So it is forward thinking. You're starting to see places like Miami, the mayor of Miami, and as well as banks in Colombia start to push forward and integrate crypto into the normal financial world, which is just amazing to see, and it's great to be a part of it. In other news as well, Kentucky, they are planning to advocate a bill that would allow for tax breaks for crypto miners, thereby lowering the cost that it takes to mine crypto and Bitcoin. So to break down the bill even further, essentially what they're doing is removing the sales tax of electricity purchases for crypto mining operators, which would significantly decrease their operating costs. It says here that the bill's fiscal note is reportedly estimated to cost the local budget at least $1 million annually. So I'm guessing not that much out of the budget, but I don't know what the whole budget for the state of Kentucky is. But it's good to see that they're making progressive laws to make things easier for miners. In other news, supposedly Tim Draper is saying that Netflix could be the next Fortune 100 firm to actually buy Bitcoin. So this is just hearsay at the moment, but if we look at some other articles, we could speculate that Netflix have already purchased, but we'll talk about that already. But essentially, to read a direct quote from Tim Draper, it says, "I think Reed Hastings, which is the CEO of Netflix, is a very innovative guy and has a lot of creative thinking, and I think he still controls the reins at Netflix. So I think that might be the next big one to fall. And essentially this is backed up by whale activity at around the 48k level, which we are above at the moment, just teetering below 50,000. But these include purchases from MicroStrategy, Square, and an unknown third party. So maybe that third party was Netflix. We don't really know as of yet, but it will be revealed, and yeah, it should be sweet. As I was saying, in terms of whales accumulating at these levels, it just, well, why it's important is because during bull cycles, whales can take profit on their positions, especially in the futures market. But what really affects the price is that when the whales sell their holdings and they rebalance their portfolios, it can cause a large swing in the market price, especially when accompanied by cascading liquidations. And in this bull cycle, this on-chain data shows that whales are buying Bitcoin rather than selling it, likely in anticipation of more upside for the future. So if whales are buying, then we should be buying. So do what the smart money does, and so buying at these levels essentially is still a discount, because if we think about it, if we're gonna go to like 100,000, 200,000, whatever it is, that's still like a 5x from here. So good to see. Looking at the price of Bitcoin on the 2-daily chart, it did have a bounce off of this EMA here, this SMA, excuse me, and currently we have been rejected by the 50,000 level. We are just sort of teetering around. I would hope for us to hold this level as support, as we have done in the past. Maybe we work down below it, but I wouldn't expect us to go too far down. That would be my hopeful expectation. Looking at the MACD and the RSI, we would want the momentum to start ticking to the upside. So we want some lighter shades in the histogram bars, as well as the signal line starting to trend upwards. That would be very, very good, because I would like to see a 60k Bitcoin very, very soon. However, historically, March hasn't been the best month for Bitcoin, so we might just see sideways, and then we see liftoff in April. It's hard to say. It's only the 4th of March at the moment, so still early days. Looking at the daily chart, is basically the same thing as what's on the 2-day chart, but it does show some upwards momentum. On the 4-hourly, it's looking a bit bearish. We are currently testing the 200 SMA, and hopefully it holds. Hopefully we just consolidate above it. In the past, it has been a good measure of support, only breaking through it, I would say, like, twice or once significantly in this cycle, and that was when we crashed to like 27k or 28k. Looking quite good for Reef, I won't lie. It bounced off of the 200 SMA. It's above the 8 SMA, the white line. We are breaking out of this downwards wedge here, even though this is really drawn. The MACD is starting to tick bullish here. We're about to have a crossover on the market side for B indicator. We are seeing a green dot indicating that it could be a good time to buy. Price wasn't too oversold, so that is a good sign. Same with the MACD. Price did not go into the negative territory of the MACD, indicating that this is strong upwards momentum. Barring a Bitcoin crash or Ethereum crash, I would expect this to continue trending upwards, as well as the upcoming events for refinance adding to the price appreciation of this token. And it's good to see. Other coins as well that have set new highs for the day include THETA. So THETA is on a rampage now. On the daily, it has had a crossover on the MACD, and there is more room for growth. Just recently, in terms of the overextension of the RSI, it got to around 91, and that was on the 26th of December here. So just to get to where it previously was, there is, you know, more room for growth, but you would need to be careful here because it is quite overextended from the moving averages. So I could foresee a dump coming in the next couple of days. Ultimately, the best time to buy is when it's touching the moving averages. So that's THETA. Engine coin as well has been going absolutely crazy, set at all-time high, and this is because it announced some news to do with ETH scaling solution help. So it's just seen a crazy spike. So went from around 35 cents or so to $1.40, and it peaked at around $1.47. So absolutely nuts, absolutely freaking nuts. And yeah, I wouldn't be buying at these levels. As I said, the time to buy was basically the 23rd, or when price was close to the EMA. But if you wanted to have a quick scalp potentially, then you could wait for some red candles on the 4-hourly chart before trying to go in. But this momentum wave seems like it's coming to an end, and but yeah, just I thought I would bring it up. Another coin that has hit an all-time high for the day as well is Decentraland. So Decentraland is to do with NFTs, gaming, and just virtual land and things of that nature. Much like the other coins, it is much like the other coins, it is quite overextended, and I would personally wait for a pullback, at least on the 4-hour, to retest some of the previous highs, whether it's around the 36 cent level or even the 38 cent level, because getting in at these prices, if you're going to trade it, at least, is not a good time to get in. But if you did want to you know, invest in this coin, then I guess dollar cost averaging. But we can see the clear upwards trend of this coin ever since the start of, ever since its inception, basically. The first 2 years or whatever, it wasn't really doing much, but since March of last year, it's been in an upwards ascending channel, more or less, and that is good for the price. So if we just draw this quickly, more or less you could say price is in this upwards ascending channel, and yeah, it's good to see. So you'd want to wait for a pullback. Last coin of the day that has hit an all-time high is Orion Protocol. So currently is having a bit of a pullback, getting rejected at around the $16 mark, and yeah, it could be a good time to buy if it does retrace a bit further. And I'm kicking myself because I remember the crypto zombie telling me about this coin and I didn't buy it, but funds were limited and you can only buy so many coins. Like with crypto, shiny object syndrome is a serious thing and it needs to be controlled. But if you did get in since November, then you'd be sitting on a 10x return, which is not so shabby, if I say so myself. Not shabby at all. But yeah, those are mainly the coins to watch that are setting new highs, that have been doing quite well. Do keep your eyes on them. Other coins to watch out, obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the coins that I have been advocating on my channel for the month at least are Alpha Finance and Terra. So Alpha is still below its previous all-time high. It's bounced off the 200 SMA. It's had a crossover on the MACD. There's a green dot on the market cipher B indicator. The RSI is had a double bottom. It's starting to trend upwards now, and we are above the white line, which is the 8 SMA, and that is a good sign for the price of Alpha Finance. So you can see here it's had this incremental step, like ladder steps upwards. So I would expect, well, not expect, I would potentially hope for the coin to first of all go back to the all-time high and then start heading to the Fibonacci extensions, the first one being around the $4.70 mark and then $7.90 mark. So that would be in the next couple of days and weeks or so, depending on how the crypto markets do. The other coin as well I am a proponent of is Luna. So Luna it's teasing me, man. It's teasing me, or it's teasing us, I should say. Obviously it has gone a bit parabolic, but this coin is a good, it's got a good score for tokenmetrics. I trust it. A lot of people have put their money into it. The market cap is quite high. There's a lot of liquidity, and it does seem like it just wants to break out of this all-time high. This is like the 4th or 5th time now it's trying to break out of it. We are above the 8 SMA, and also clearly above the 200 SMA. The MACD is about to tick bullish. We've had a green dot on the market cipher B. The RSI is starting to trend up, bottoming out at the 28th of Feb. So in my eyes, this is a good opinion. This is a good buy, even at these levels. It's just within this consolidation phase, and it does appear that it's going to break out anytime soon, in my opinion. But just fair warning, I do have quite a bit of money in this. I put in like a monkey, and for those of you who aren't English, a monkey is 500 quid, not a literal monkey. So yeah, just keep your eyes on those coins that I've mentioned, and I will see you guys soon. Bye bye.